All right, hello and welcome. We're going to do just a short improv cast today about Star Citizen. I am Savo, joined by Lennox Dantes, and we're just going to talk a little bit about the community of Star Citizen, the good and the bad, and how we actually feel that it may be hurting Star Citizen and its development. Um, Lennox is just playing along here while we're gonna
Yeah.
be talking about it. So we're just gonna be a little bit of like a rant cast, not too much structure or form this time. But so I guess where would you like to start with this one? What are you thinking?
Let's start with the good because the bad's probably going to be a tangent. So let's start with
Yeah,
the
yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah. The bad is there. I guess the good is that it's very dedicated, right? I mean, the community is.
Yeah.
I guess they have really strong backing, right? Really strong financial backing. Every single time there's a ship sale, like I mean, I keep putting money into it, even though like I've got a lot of gripes with it.
Same. I've put an insane amount of money in this game for. I spend most of my time complaining about things.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you think about like, so why is it that like you keep putting money in, and then I'll kind of give it like mine why I keep putting money in.
Well, when this game was announced at the end of 2012, I backed at the beginning of 2013 almost right away because I believe in the project. It has changed so much over time, though, that I have lost a little bit of faith. But really, in my why I keep putting money into it's like it's benefiting from the fact there's nothing else out there. What else is there to play? All the games are the same, so that's why I do this. It has the potential, which is a dirty word, to be better than everything else. Has it proven it so far with the mechanics and stuff they put in the game? No, but the spaceships are cool.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you're right. Like it has changed a lot. Like it wasn't exactly what we thought it was going to be right now, but there's still potential. And I think the biggest thing that I would say is why I keep putting money in is because of the actual potential of the game. It has a ton of potential, as we've said before, to be, the best game I ever created. The biggest thing that
Yeah.
I think I'm seeing change is the whole freedom aspect. Like you're free to do this, free to do this, and it's kind of being encroached upon by a lot of new rules and regulations, and that's kind of where we start to get into like the whole community and people kind of changing things. There's been, I mean, a lot of stuff changing with like pad ramming and other stuff like that, right? But what are some of the big changes that you've seen where they've like implemented into the game that particularly you think were kind of called by like cries from the community and then Sig responded to it? What are some things like that?
Oh, just if you go on the forums right now, the biggest there's two main things. One of the is PvP. People cannot handle non-consensual PvP. Well, it is an MMO. There are other people in the game. And if you are free to roam around and do as you like, that means people are going to be free to shoot you. You don't get to have your cake and eat it too. If you want a solo game, play the solo game. And all you hear is people whining and crying on the forums. And the problem isn't just that they're doing that; it's that Sega's listening and implementing things into the game already at this stage, spending a ton of manpower and resources doing it. We got the most lazy bounty hunting system ever. If you get a crime stat, immediately everybody in the server gets your wall hack. It's a wall hack. They can see exactly where you are. They have to put zero effort into finding you or actually hunting you. It doesn't change anything because they still speak in terms like they use, oh, I tracked you. I hunted. No, you didn't. You literally accepted a quest from a quest giver. You went to the quest marker on your map and you shot at it.
Yeah,
That's all you
that's
did.
not very immersive if you think about it, because you're kind of just, as you said, it's just a very very free thing. It's where like you get the little mission, all right, you go track this guy down and shoot him, as opposed to having to like work together, try to find something, which in my opinion is much more immersive. And you'd probably feel pretty damn proud of yourself if you were a real bounty hunter and actually good at it, and then actually you would start getting a reputation, and not just some reputation that Sig gives you, but an actual reputation in game, which would be fucking sweet. To where they'd be
Yeah.
like, hey man, this guy's an amazing bounty hunter. He tracks these people down. How he does it, he's awesome at it. And you actually have real good stuff. I mean, that would be cool. Instead, we just get this kind of crappy, like, hey, you just get more and more merits and more points and the more expensive missions, the more you do crap. And that's like every other game out there. And I thought Star Citizen was trying to go for this different approach, yet it seems to be falling into more of the same, more of the same. And that's kind of where we start to get into what the community is doing negatively. They can't stop themselves because I'm sure there's a community of gamers, just like we are, but who've played other MMOs and other games, and it's like they don't know how to make anything different. They keep going back to the same ideas. You must have a punishment for this, a quest for this, a this for this, an NPC for this, and in the end, you're just gonna wind up with a really cool looking game that could have been something special that ends up pretty fucking generic. That's one of the ways I think that the community is hurting the game, is that they can't just let the game be free and be developed the way they want it to. Um, and you're right,
Oh,
it's the non-consensual PvP that people don't get. But as we just had the other night, that's some of the best gameplay experience you're going to create for people, is when you just randomly start something, they have to escape you, and that's not pre-programmed crap. That's real people doing things, and that's what we're kind of losing.
it's hands down the one thing that gives games the most longevity. The biggest whine I hear on the forums, oh, the game's never going to last with people doing PvP like this. Bull crap. There is a billion games out there right now that have waning player bases because there's nothing to do other than missions. And what the community does is they pressure and badger and blast. See, we need more content. We need more game loops. That's the new catchword. We need game loops.
Yeah, I've heard that a
You
lot
know,
now.
game loops, whatever that means, man. What's a game loop?
It's essentially
They
you
need
go
more
buy
content.
something, you mine it, and then you turn it in and make money and do it all over again. That's a game loop,
Yes.
like a mining game. It's fucking
So
stupid.
like any mission, so I know I go to my quest giver, I go to this green circle, I kill 10 wolves, and then return, and he gives me pants. Game loop,
Exactly,
got it. Yeah,
100%.
and so every single mechanic that they've implemented in this game has been sold one way and delivered much differently. It's sold as some unique, amazing new way, reimagining of something, and it's the same crap you get in every other game. The saving grace they have is they have really cool spaceships, and they
Yeah, I
have
mean
really good
that's never
music.
stopped.
Yeah, the spaceship team uh, deserves a triple down bonus because they are single-handedly keeping this thing going here and generating all the money. These guys who make these ships are freaking awesome. They can't make
100%.
them all work correctly, but I don't. That's like the least of my complaints.
Well, I'm sure that's a very different team, because I mean, for you're gonna have one who does like design and implementation, then you got the one who actually fixes bugs and stuff. And that team, let's just say that team sucks, because this game has bugs every single which way you look. And
Oh, it's an alpha. It's gonna have
we'll
bugs.
get into a different cast at some time, which is what I think there's a lot of misprioritization, or not the right priorities that they're doing. But either
Well,
way,
that could flow into the community pressure though, because the community wants these game loops and game loops and game loops and games. Like, well, how about we just, instead of having 20 things that don't work correctly, how about we have five that work very well?
yeah,
It
I
may
mean
not be
that's my
perfect,
thing. That's
but
my thing.
everything works like crap. Yeah, everything works like crap.
Yeah, I would rather just start with like one or two things, make sure that they work great, and then move on to the next, rather than having to keep fixing like a little things. It's like just patching a hole in the road rather than just repairing the road. But
Right.
no, I mean, and as far as other community stuff goes, I mean, you're right. They pressure a lot, and then when they get killed, they pressure even more. I mean, look at what's happened to stations. They have so much more protection on them now. There's turrets. There's more navy than there's ever been before. You
Doesn't make
get
any
you get
sense.
thrown in magical jail. I mean, here's one of the bigger things that changed because of community pressure is you got these comm links or comm arrays that can magically tell you that if you committed a crime, it's like some strange, like the most amazing minority report tracker that you've ever had on your body that can tell you if you've done something, right? And then you automatically go to jail if you die, right? Or if you were
You're jury
lasting grim
with no.
hex here and there. It's ridiculous.
You are kill on sight, stuff you in jail. One crime gets you like 20 things to hack. So no one. I mean, we've been doing this stuff since we started playing. We used to hack our stat. It's a total waste of time. I'd rather mine in jail than hack my stat. When I got 20 bounty hunters with my wall hack coming one by one, you kill them, they just come right back, and I'm in there hacking my stat for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, it actually has
Like,
killed that little, if you want to call it a
yeah.
gameplay loop. It totally killed it, because you're right. Like, it's such a waste. All right, now I gotta fly to Korea, hack my stat. I might die, I might not. Okay, then I come back. The second you launch one bullet at somebody at a random portion of space, they immediately link your name with a massive crime, and that's it. I
You're
mean,
killing sight.
it's crazy. And for the same crime, you get charged multiple times now. Like if you keep
Yeah.
shooting somebody who is not red, then you keep getting crimes for it. It's gone a little
Right.
bit ridiculous because they want to see people get punished, right? But you know
Right.
what? That's not a very exciting game if you're not allowed to be both good, bad, or just neither, or just kind of do what you want to do. And it's becoming that way. It's becoming like they only want you to play in one way. Just do their stupid loops. You need to mine, or you need to refine, or do something dumb like that. And if you like that, that's fine. But you got to leave some space for the people to do other shit too. And that's what's lacking right now.
Well, and it's backfiring on them from a piracy standpoint because I'm not even trying. I don't even care to ask them for money. I mean, by the time I jump through all the hoops that they want me to jump through to shut their ship down, oh, you got to shut their ship down. Then you got to hope it's shut down enough to get off it and break onto theirs. Eh, I'm gonna have 5 bounty hunters up my ass, and I'm not giving them the satisfaction. Hell no. Like, I'm just gonna go blow this guy up, and you can go whine on the forums about it even more because you're the reason this is happening, and just be done with it.
Yeah,
You
it
know?
does take anything out of pirating now too, because it's like there's like nothing valuable. It's so damn easy to go make money. You just go mines for something. You just go do some little trading
Well,
runs,
now it's
and
just bounty hunting, but it's bounty hunting is a joke, man. I
right,
mean,
it's easy.
oh my God, you kill NPCs, it's so easy, and you just make a ton of money.
Yes, I mean
Yeah.
there's no point. Like you ask for money from somebody, so it just kills that too. So it's killing a lot of those ones that are as seen as not good, right? So like piracy is a bad guy thing, right? Or just like messing with things is a bad guy thing. They only
Well,
want you to do these good ones, which is crazy because I don't think that was the vision that Chris Roberts sold it as. He said space is dangerous, right? That was a very big thing. It's becoming less and less dangerous by the day.
oh, big time. Yeah, it's the forum care bears have put so much pressure on CIG to make the game their way. You're gonna get nothing by the time it's the main. This was sold as a sandbox. This is not a sandbox. This is a theme park, and I don't think Roberts is the number one guy behind that uh, change. I think that's because the community pressure all the way,
Yeah.
baby, all the
Yeah.
way, and that's the main point of this topic tonight. Is they've turned this game from a multiplayer freedom game into a freedom sandbox into a whatchamacall, a theme park.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we were talking about that earlier. We have a little text feed we have with a lot of guys that we're linked with who all play Star Citizen, and something that we were saying is that right now you're on the verge of creating a game if it keeps going in this direction where you're just playing a big solo player game that you have primarily a ton of NPC interaction and just a little bit of human interaction because they're making the human interaction elements less and less because there's big punishments, and the only thing you can do is work together to mine, work together to trade, man a turret, and fight an NPC. It's really, what you said earlier, at the risk of becoming a generic game. And when this was concepted, this thing was anything but generic. The ships are anything but generic. I mean, it has real potential, but the community's killing it because they're stuck in their old ways of playing every game like they've always played it. Just let it be free. Don't bitch so much about things. And I'm okay with there being harsh punishment for like murder, like if somebody can prove that you murdered, right? But don't make me automatically go to jail. Make somebody have to put me in jail. Make somebody have to actually find me and kill me. Make it difficult. And then if it is, fine, I'll set my ass in jail. Fine, I don't
Yeah,
care.
and until that mechanic's ready, don't just implement this lazy ass rendition of a bounty hunting system. It is so terrible. And we do is create our own content every day. So it's not like we're not doing it still, but we do that in every game. It doesn't matter. It's just one hoop after the next, man. One hoop after the next,
Yeah,
and
but I
it's
mean,
only getting worse.
I guarantee you, the game is getting very, very dry for people
Oh yeah.
who don't do stuff like that. Because eventually, like, how many times can you trade? I mean, what's the goal? I can buy this shipping game. I can buy this shipping game, and then what are you going to do with it? Well, I'm probably going to go mining with that or go trading with that. Like literally, Sorry, what are you going to do
Well,
with that? You do the same shit with every ship right now because nothing is actually fleshed out and there's not that much to do. So what the hell is the point? Let the people dictate just by their play how this game is going. Don't control us and put us all on rails, as we like to say. And
it's just like
that's
Elite
all for them.
Dangerous. There's no point to do anything other than to just make imaginary money, so that you can get a bigger ship, so that you can make more imaginary money. Now that's a symptom of a lack of a real economy, but
Yeah, for
that's
sure.
a whole other podcast. But you know,
Yeah, that does go a little bit more down the economy range, but a lot of that kind of personal interaction, which is primarily in these games PvP. I mean, it just is like, yes, you're gonna trade with people, you're gonna make friends with people, you're gonna go on mining, you're join corps and create things. You're gonna go on big missions. Maybe like you're pissed off of this pirating guild and you get your bunch of buddies together. That's cool. Like, but that's really where you get the personal interaction. So it does fall very much in line with PvP, and it seems like they're trying to make that more and more difficult to have, non-kosher PvP, right? If you do anything that may be considered bad, you get slapped a big punishment these days. And I'm not saying you shouldn't be punished, but it just shouldn't be so easy. And that definitely is community. That's all community right there. Because the second somebody gets blown up when they weren't expecting it, or they had like a full, cargo container full of Laranite or something, they're pissed, and they're gonna bitch
oh,
about it
absolutely.
because they want to play a multiplayer game solo.
Well, you said something very important there. You said, maybe your ship got blown up or your trade run got disrupted, so you get a group of guys to help you out. See, that requires someone to be creative, to be social, and to take matters into their own hands. The current method for resolving that issue is whining to CIG on the forums en masse and demanding a game mechanic that does that for you.
That's 100%
So
right.
you can just blindly you can watch a YouTube video, and this was the same thing in Elite. And I'm gonna use Elite as an example because it is a spaceship game that's very similar. Okay, I played other games. I'm just using it as an example. This happens in other games too. In Elite Dangerous, they had their little crappy economy too, and what they would do is they would dictate where the big nodes were to mine. And all I had to do is go on YouTube, see where the big nodes are. That's where all the miners are. Sure enough, you fly right in. There's a bunch of idiots mining away, and they people feel like they should be able to go there, mine, then sell at the number one place to sell at without any sort of resistance whatsoever. And the second you give them any, they bitch and complain and whine. In Elite, there's like 80 billion star systems you could go to, and they felt it's such a overwhelming sense of entitlement that they deserve to go there and do it for maximum value every time. F you, I'm not taking any kind of loss to be creative and go anywhere else, but any effort into this. I'm not going to pay a guy to help me or ask a guy to help me. Please, people would do that for free in these games. They have nothing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
people are
it
just
actually
lazy.
kind of goes into the portion where it's like, why are you playing an MMO? And that's
100%.
something else that I'm going to talk about when we do our kind of bigger quantum slash an NPC cast. But like, why are you playing an MMO if do you want very basic and simple human interaction just to compliment you on how cool of a ship you have, or hey, why don't you sit in this turret and shoot down this random shitty NPC? If you don't actually want real human interaction, conflict, like pressure, stuff like that, and creating a situation you got to get out of it. If you don't want that at all, and you don't want to, have unique situations each day, why the hell are you playing an MMO? There's plenty of solo player games out there, and I just think that I wish Sig didn't fall into that. And that's kind of been forced, and that's the big point of this cast. It's been forced by the community asking for these small changes, which eventually add up into a massive change. And now we're seeing a game right now at this current stage where it's still salvageable, but it really is going down a wrong path. Of just really, it's almost like it's being controlled too much. I feel like the game is being directed way
Oh,
too
way
much
way
and
too
not
much.
letting the players have freedom.
Oh, it's I think beyond repair at this point. Yeah, oh, I'm blacking out. Cool. No, it's beyond repair at this point. The community has done so much damage to this game. You can already see by the mechanics that are in it and the way they're designing things going forward that this is going to be an absolute theme park solo play game.
You're not
People
wrong.
there's no point to even go to war in this game. Like, why would you go? Why would there's all these amazing warships.
Yeah, you're
Oh,
right.
this
You
is
got
a
a
drop
Kraken,
ship.
an Idris, man. You got the fucking human dropships and
Oh
stuff. You
yeah,
got prowlers or dropships. Like, you're right. Why would you do this? You know what?
it's
And you're not. You're just gonna go fight some random made up NPC crap. The whole point was to have this all be about like humans interacting with each other, and whatnot, real people, and
well,
they're
it's gonna be
losing it
gentlemen's
fast, man.
agreements.
They're
It's
losing
gonna
it
be
fast.
gentlemen's agreements for YouTube celebrity. That they're gonna be, hey, let's have a big war and put it on YouTube. That's all you're gonna see in this game. There's gonna be no reason for anybody to actually go to war in this game.
Yeah.
None,
And
none.
that is can definitely branch off into more like in economy based reasons because when you actually don't just control it by whatever Sig wants to do and it's actually kind of player run, which again the big theme here is freedom. I think that's kind of what we're losing. You actually have a reason to do things, right? There's a reason because something can be valuable and whatnot. I think that they should make things more difficult too, like as far as how you make money, how you obtain ships and whatnot. I mean, yeah, you can buy it to support it, but because then it would give more of a reason, more of an incentive, and it's just all very very easy these days, and the
You
community
got
wants it easy,
LTI
man.
too.
Yeah,
The problem is you got the whole LTI thing. When your ship gets replaced to you free of charge, and you can just claim it and bring it right into you. You know, going forward, where's any sort of risk of loss at all?
yeah, you're right. You got like
So,
a 30-minute claim time. Oh my god. Yeah, who
oh yeah,
cares?
people were bitching about that. Remember when they upped those and they changed them within like a week? They went right back. Like, oh my god, we're so sorry. Like, I can't believe you make me wait an extra 10 minutes for my Carrick. I need to make all this in-game money or else.
It's pretty terrible.
Like,
You're right. Like I
dude,
was like, oh, that's actually a decent thing. I mean, it should be very expensive and take a long time to fix a ship. I mean, I'd honestly be okay if it was longer, but yeah, it's not that bad anymore.
oh,
And it's so
well,
easy to make money. It doesn't matter whatever the cost is. So
it's easiest fight. There's a term called fidelity, and if you look at all these mechanics that are put in, they're all you go the complete opposite of fidelity. That's hey, I can have my ship delivered to me by osmosis within 30 seconds with no penalty for losing it. Cool, awesome. Hey, a mining station has 600 turrets. Cool, awesome. That makes sense. An abandoned outpost is 605 turrets. Brilliant. Oh, you
yeah,
blow
you're
one
right.
up, it respawns just miraculously in 30 seconds.
Yeah, you're right.
Came in
Like
the middle of
it
freaking
just comes
space and
out
shot somebody.
of the air. You blow up a turret and it's back. It's like what the fuck is that?
Yeah, it's stupid. That is all 100% of those things that just brought up were all community pressure.
You know what, dude? I mean, they actually weren't there back when we actually started playing this game. I
No.
mean, we've been backers for a while, but I mean, like, this is actually relatively recent. I would say most of the bad changes have happened within the past year to year and a half.
Yeah. Past
You
year.
know,
Yep. 100%.
100. Yeah,
100%. Past
it's
year.
really
Yeah.
gotten bad.
hmm Past year. If you go on the forums, it's people whining about that. It's people whining about not enough NPCs. Like people, it's NPCs to players and blah blah blah. It's like, guys, this is a MMO that was supposed to be a sandbox. You can't build or make anything in this game, and you're not going to be able to. You can make your own little base. What's the difference between that and your own homestead in World of Warcraft? This is like I said, the ship team does a great job. I think these people that signed up for this game that had no desire to play an MMO, we're just looking at these sweet ships, and I don't know if they were thinking right from the get go, hey, I'm gonna start playing this game, just bitch on the forums every day until they make the way I want because this ship looks awesome. I think it's got to be that. I don't know.
I mean, the ships, as you said, are keeping the game alive.
Yeah,
There's so many of them, and the dev team does great. But I mean, the point remains that the community asking for all these changes, getting very very outraged and pissed when anything not positive happens to them, has really taken this game on a swift downturn, and it's making it not very interesting anymore. I mean, when you log on, like if you're your regular player, what do you log on to do? Like you log on, you're like, well, I'm gonna go make some money today. Seriously, if you're not making money, and you're not like a pirate, which pirating sucks by the way right now. It's a very very limited way to play the game. If you're not doing those things, what else are you doing? The answer is nothing. The answer is
Well,
absolutely nothing.
that's all they do. They pick the hottest thing too. So like when we first started playing, trading was the jam, right? So everyone was out there trading. I got to trade and make money. I got to trade and make money. And then it was mining. Oh, I got to mine and make money. And I got to mine and make money. Now it's bounty. Oh, I got bounty. I got to make money. Uh, and guess what? It always starts out. Everyone's playing. Patch is nice and fat and hearty, and then everyone gets bored and starts demanding more game loops. You can't sustain a game like this on producer developed content. You need to let players create content. They cannot satisfy the needs of the many if it's going to be NPC producer based content. There's no way. It takes
Yeah.
a year to develop something that's consumed in a week.
Yeah, I mean, like you look at, like Xeno threat, like and
Oh
some people are
God.
really like that, and that's like, well, look, yeah, Xeno threat is like that's pretty fucking boring. It was worse than anything you'd ever see in like Mass Effect or like an actually good solo player game. The difference is like you just had somebody else like, hey, you got a buddy who's gonna hop in your turret and help fight these fake guys. That was it, man. Like if that's where we peak, and that's where the community, and the community loved that, by the way. This is once again community. They're like, oh, this is great. We got all this content with Xenothreat. Like, if that's where you peak, this game will not sustain
Uh,
long term.
no, I think that people are just desperate for a thing, and the this can probably be a good summary because I know we were speaking about this before we even started this cast. Like the community is so forgiving, and not even forgiving. Just I know that's too complimentary. They're so delusional.
No, forgiving makes a lot of sense. So that's actually where I wanted to go with this, and that's kind of like what's my bigger point. Like, yes, the community is very supporting, but you're right, forgiving for sure. And they almost, I don't know the right word for it, but they're almost like
Delusional. They're delusional, man. It's like Stockholm syndrome at this point.
yeah, but there's a certain word where it's like they'll just support anything, and then they'll find a way to make it work. Like if Sig, wanted to do X and Y, and even though like people probably like objectively are like, no, that's stupid, because it's from Sig, they're gonna look at it in a more positive light and find a way to justify it rather than objectively looking at it and seeing why it's bad. Like, they're just gonna say, oh,
We
you
are,
know what,
we're all
Sig
are,
did it, so it's right.
we were all expecting a blue pen. They gave us a purple one. They'll be like, well, you can't have purple without a little bit of blue.
No,
It's
that's exactly what the community has been doing, and that I think is actually the biggest thing too. Is like, whenever Sig does anything, there's not a lot of like, there is dissent and whatnot, but community members are very
you.
tough to defend them at all costs because it's almost become like an identity. I'm a Star Citizen player. I have put this much money into the game. I'm an early backer. That's great. You can wear that badge, and we've all worn that badge too. But the whole point is to improve the game, not to just defend it and think that you're cool for being a part of Star Citizen. Make it better,
You
guys.
you can criticize, people you love, man.
Yep.
A real friend will tell you what you want, what you need to hear, not just what you want to hear. Okay, so we need to be real friends to CIG and tell them what they need to hear, and that is that they need to stop implementing a bunch of bullcrap, wasting a bunch of time and man hours on stuff that doesn't make any difference. And it just actually makes the experience worse. Let the people spread out a little bit and do stuff. Jesus,
Yeah, they need to
everything's off
stop
rails,
restricting
man.
personal. They need to stop restricting personal interaction, 100%. And if they actually care about like fidelity, they need to take away magical minority report type crime statting and stuff like
Oh,
that. Where
it's
like
terrible.
that's ridiculous, and it doesn't create any danger because you're like, oh well, this guy killed me. Okay, cool. My ship is gonna respawn, which is fine. I'll just claim it, and then we'll go back out there. Eventually, this guy will die. No matter how many times he kills me, I'll just keep coming back, and then he'll go to jail. Okay.
Yeah, it just keeps coming back. Well, or your ship spontaneously combusts. Or today, what happened was I was warping away, and fell out of my ship. And after about, I don't know, 5 minutes of just EVAing us, out of the comrade zone, I guess got sick of it. I said, F it, and I killed myself. I'm just a little tiny man in the middle of space. It was just outside of PO. I mean, it was way outside. I couldn't even see PO anymore, but I'm still somehow in comrade zone. And I got taken to jail by the stars. The stars floated
Yeah,
me in.
hey, the Star Citizen, baby. They took you to jail.
It's the kind of shit I'm talking about. I can understand there's a camera around a base or something.
If
Okay.
somebody fucking takes me out, yeah, yeah, you're around like a big base, like there's cameras and whatever the fuck all around there. I get it, right? But you're gonna tell me in the middle of space or like on a station, like where it's like abandoned and shit, you're just gonna magically know that somebody performed a heinous action? Really?
Yes.
It's gone ridiculous, and you know that stuff wasn't there at the beginning. It's totally there
No.
because of all the community outcry about wanting to just be safe whenever they do anything. And you
Well,
know what? It's the first thing we said in this cast. Space is supposed to be dangerous. The community wants to
yeah.
be extra safe. It's all,
Let
all,
it
all,
be.
all community, and SIG has been caving for a long time, especially this past year. So, from my point to sum it up, and then if you want to give your summary, the
Yeah.
community is too forgiving. To use your word there, they're more delusional. I think they're just blindly supporting. That's actually where I want to go. They blindly support whatever SIG does, and they are way too sensitive and are wanting almost less and less true personal interaction. Those three things are where I think the community has gone wrong, and I wish that they could take this not as like an insult towards the whole community, but to say, hey guys, we need to change direction, or this game is going to be just like every other game, and just have cooler ships. That's my summary. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, how do you want your turd frosted? Do you want your turd frosted with wizards, or do you want it frosted with spaceships? I was hoping this wasn't going to be another frosted turd, but it kind of is. I still support it and back it because of what it was sold as. But the problem is with the community is there's a lot of things that CIG have put out over the past 8 years of this game's development, and they will latch on to one thing ever said, even if it's vague or not, and use that as justification for their warped point of view. So, with NPCs, and we'll get into that more. Yes, there's supposed to be a 9-to-1 ratio. Not everywhere, not in every system, and that doesn't mean we have to have a quanta and all this other crap. This is stuff that was sold lately. That's the new sell. All this. Yes, there were supposed to be some lawful systems and some lawless systems. It didn't mean like when we have a one system server that barely runs, that we have to have a wall hack system that's put out there so you can see where everybody is. And yeah, that doesn't mean that station, a mining base in the middle of a Lagrange point needs to have 600 turrets on them that you can't. It's a pain in the ass to blow them up, and then when you do, they respawn in 30 seconds. That stuff's stupid. It's actually it destroys fidelity, which used to be a term that was used quite a bit by Chris Roberts. He stopped using that because he knows damn well he's thrown fidelity completely out the window for the sake of forum tiers. So yeah, no, I think that the community. I almost wish they would just kind of spend the next year just fixing up what we have, and then just go radio silent for the next 2 years and just finish the fucking game.
That'd be great. I mean, so I guess overall, let us know what you guys think. I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of dissenters to your point of view, but I'm sure there actually be a
Yeah,
decent
I
amount
don't care. It's
of
fine.
supporters, and that's fine. I mean, that's what it's
I'm
all
not afraid
about.
of a little YouTube PvP. That's fine. Let's
No,
go.
man,
It's
it
okay.
doesn't matter to me. It's good to kind of get dissenting opinions. I really think that we're correct here in how this game would be truly remarkable and a one of a kind game if you just let the people be a
Yeah.
little bit more free to make their freaking decisions and not get minority reported all the fucking time. And as you said, you can have a lawful system or a lawless system. Give us some actual variance. Let us feel that space is actually dangerous, right? Rather than just being able to make a free ass trade run with no consequences. Give us a little bit of that. There is still hope for the game, but with the way that I've seen it go over the past year, that hope is fading for me. But hopefully, maybe if the community kind of wakes up a little bit, they can pressure SIG into sticking true more to what they came out selling this game as in the beginning, which made me drop way too much money. So
Yeah. Well, the only way you make this game unique is if you keep it a sandbox. But
take the
nothing
rails
that
off,
they talk
baby.
about.
Take the rails
But
off, and you've got a remarkable game on your hands.
yeah, but you know what? It's never going to be anymore. That ceased about a year ago. Every single thing they have in this game that they've done from a year from this point, from ILW, whatever it's called, ILW 2950 until now, has been a complete theme park format. Everything's been theme park based. Everything's been on rails. Oh, here you go. We're gonna put you on rails. We have this new system. It's gonna put you on rails. The new system is gonna put you on rails. The new system is gonna tell you just how to play. Nah, no thanks. No
Well,
thanks. These ships are too cool. The space is too big to have a game like that. Why does trading suck and why does mining suck? Because those things are hard to put on rails, and you're just jamming your bounty hunter crap down our throat right now, and your Xeno that crap. It's all this, and then they're gonna have 314 is gonna be some stupid ass Nine Tails event when they blow up Port Olisar, which is the best, most efficient space station in the game, and they're gonna put in Orison, which is another sterile Microtech clone, like some stupid cloud city that was gonna just kill the damn server, and they're not gonna build it. It's gonna be such a nightmare. And in order to put that in, they're gonna take out one of the old school stations that's been here since the beginning. That's still the best designed station in the game. I don't want to ride a Wonka Vader. Every other one of these Lagrange points, you're in the same exact place. You get on some
yeah, dude,
low
it's the fucking
fidelity
same.
Wonka Vader. Yeah, they're all the same.
Yeah,
It's
go to
cookie cutter
hangar.
crap.
Yeah, yeah. It's like go to hangar 3 or 4. Press your button. Wait 10 minutes to get into your ship. Wait 10 minutes to open the hangar. You talking every station's like that? I mean, PO's the only
Why?
one. PO's the only one's not. So yeah, you're right. It sucks. I mean,
Why do they
I
hate
am gonna
PO?
miss PO. So
Why do they not like PO? You know why? Because people cried about pad ramming. They cried about ship theft, ship jacking. So what's is it harder to steal ships in a Wonka Vader? So now we get some low fidelity cookie cutter solution because people are crying on forums.
yeah, you're right. That actually probably is the reason because
That
like
is the
yeah,
reason.
because I mean, if you want somebody like okay, like I don't want my ship to be stolen, well then put it in some stupid hangar that the other person literally can't call to open the hangar.
Pay
So there
attention,
you
for
go.
Christ's sake. Just pay attention. Just pay attention. It's so hard to steal the ship when someone actually turns around and says, "Oh, I see you there." It's always some idiot that's not paying attention, and they
Yeah,
feel like
it's
that's
ridiculous.
their entitlement. I could just get to put my blinders on in this dangerous space that the dangerous space game that I clicked buy now on, and you made me mad. So let's blow up the only unique space station in the entire game and put another generic sterile piece of crap in. Oh, look, there's a liquid dripping thing, not a waterfall. It's a liquid dripping mass. That sounds better. If that sounds more futuristic. Oh, cool. There's AIs here. Oh, look. There's instead of trams, there's a transit buses. That float. Cool. Wow.
Yeah, amazing.
Who cares? I'm gonna spend like 30 seconds there because I'm just gonna be choppy and terrible, and I'm not gonna want to stop at one of those. I mean, how many times do you really want to stop at those big cities? What are you doing? What are
I
you
don't
gonna
know.
do?
I definitely don't want to see PO go and to kind of circle back to the whole point is that that's all because of I at least I believe so. I'll do the community. I'll cry about it, because that's like it's still and you see they added more turrets there by the way. So there's way more
Oh yeah.
turrets now at PO to kind of crack down on things of like ramming and ship stealing and stuff like that. So it's already pretty fucking protected. And then on top of it, you're just gonna be like, you know what? We're just gonna eliminate it.
Yeah. Just get
Crazy.
rid of it. People are just complaining so much about it. Just don't go there. There's 20 other Wonka Vaders you can go ride. Go somewhere else.
Yep.
I still go there. I don't give a crap. I want to be able to get on and off my ship. I'm heading there right now, as a matter of fact, because I want to log off there. So when I log on in the morning, I can get back on my ship in eight
Yeah, and
minutes.
not take fucking a million hours to go press a
Yeah.
button to open a hangar. I know, it's crazy, but that's exactly what we're talking about, guys. Where we think that the community outcry is really starting to ruin the game, going down a bad direction. So hopefully it doesn't go fully down the rabbit hole, but I fear it will. So that's it from my end. Did you have anything else to add?
No, that's good, man.
All right, well, thanks you guys for tuning in. Take care, and we'll be back with a couple more things here. Probably bring in some guests as well. Until next time, I am Savo, and that was Lennox. Take care.